Christina. Welcome to this video where we are going to unlock the secrets of manifestation. I'm sure you've heard this word bandied about. A lot of people say they have, this is how you manifest, this is how you manifest, this is how you manifest. There's a lot of theories around manifestation. So I use remote viewing, which is a technique developed by the CIA to access psychic information. I wanted to find out how we manifest. So here we go. Let's dive in. In terms of the word manifestation, I wanted to understand what is the difference between manifestation and creation. And I was shown that manifestation really is when something is, it appears in physical form. It's like all of a sudden it is revealed. It really is magical in that it's created in the spirit realm, or what First Nations people here in Australia say, the dream time. And then it comes through and it is made manifest in our physical reality. Whereas creation is the process by which we manifest. So creation is our actions that are required in order to create the manifestation. I did see that we are manifesting and creating all the time. A lot of what we manifest and create is on autopilot. And so I needed to understand all the ways in which we create and manifest. And I was shown that it was in three main ways. It turns out that, yes, your soul program. So your soul is what you came in to be in this lifetime. And your soul program is creating your intended outcomes based on your life plan. But there's also your subconscious beliefs, which is these are in your mind, and these are created between the ages of 0 to 7 or 0 to 14. And they are programs that are created as you grow up to basically keep you safe. It's the way for you to survive in the world. That's the goal, right? Learn how to survive. So you create these programs in order to stay safe, in order to survive. These programs are also creating for you automatically. And then, of course, there is the third, which is conscious creation. And that's very much a spiritual practice in a sense that you are actually using your spirit. Spirit is your little piece of universal consciousness, your little piece of the universe that you actively work with to create. So I'll talk about these. I call them the three levels. Level 1, your soul program. Level 2, your subconscious. And level 3, the conscious creation using your spirit. So let's talk about level 1, your soul program and your life plan. So when I conducted this remote viewing session, what I saw very clearly is that your soul it's like people refer to the Akashic records as books and libraries. I don't see that at all. I see a database. And I was shown that it's a database. And in this huge database that's like all of reality, there's a folder that's you. And when you click on that folder, it opens up all your lifetimes. And that's your soul, right? Your soul is different for each lifetime. You have a different soul, different life plan for each lifetime, but they're all aggregated together in this main folder. And they're all used to create your subsequent future lifetimes, right? There's a reference back to them. So what I was shown is that when we're in the spirit realm, we decide, we map out a life plan. We say, I want to experience this, 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 and this. Like I want to experience marriage. I want to experience childbirth. I want to experience world travel. Those experiences are loaded into your soul for that lifetime. Then there's this algorithm that is applied based on all the different lifetimes that you've lived that is also loaded into your soul program. So, for example, when people say you choose your parents, I think you agree to your parents. I think you agree to certain things because they're loaded into your soul program via the algorithm that is created from all your soul files. But I don't think you're picking people out of a catalog and saying da 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 da. I haven't investigated this, but soul families could also come into play. So a lot of times parents and siblings and people who are very important in your lifetime, you've been in many lifetimes with them before because they're loaded into that algorithm. So they keep coming up because you have to achieve balance with them. So your soul program is comprised of that algorithm and the life plan. And so you come into your lifetime and that soul program manifests certain things for you. Now, one of the things that you have to remember is that because you also have subconscious beliefs working for or against you, these subconscious beliefs that you've created here on earth in your life are based on what you experience from the ages of 0 to 7. So there's always a reference back to the soul during these ages. So it's like if you experience something as a little 2-year old, your connection to your soul and those files, the database is still very strong. So it can remind you of something that happened in a previous lifetime and create a program and create a trigger. So it's very complicated. But please know that the subconscious beliefs that you create while you're growing up, those can either work for or against you in terms of your soul program manifesting. A lot of times, these subconscious beliefs can block your soul program from manifesting. And people say, you can get thrown off your life path. I agree that can happen because of what you experience as a child. One of the other things that I saw when I was dealing with the soul program is I wouldn't necessarily call Earth a school. I don't think that we come in to necessarily learn things, and there's not this need to, quote, ascend. What I was shown is that it really is just about experiences and evolution. So it is just coming to Earth to experience as much as you possibly can to expand consciousness. It's not really about a school in a traditional sense. The other thing that you have to remember is that we're dealing with a hacking in our programs. So there are beings that are influencing our soul programs and our evolutionary process that are making life on Earth very difficult. So that's a whole other conversation I'll have in another video. But the other thing when I was investigating the soul program, I didn't always see that there's this karmic requirement. So we aren't always repenting for our mistakes. We are subject to universal law, the universal law of cause and effect. That plays into it. And that is what creates the balance, right? So if we cause something, we have to balance out that effect. And so that does factor into our soul program and what manifests in our life. So please know that the decisions that you have here on earth affect you for, they affect your future lifetime. So it is important to be aware of what you're doing and how you are living your life. It's very important. The other thing I wanted to find out was, can you edit your soul program? Yes, in some ways you can do this. You can do this through healing past life trauma, healing childhood trauma, reprogramming your subconscious beliefs, and using conscious creation methods to make yourself aware of your decision-making process. So I didn't see that you could go in and like edit the soul program that was already made, but there were things that you could do to make sure that some of the not so good things that manifest through your soul program to lessen those effects. So, for example, you couldn't go in and edit your soul program and be like, I want to be a famous musician or an amazing athlete like LeBron James. I mean, that's not going to happen. A lot of people all the people who come to Earth with amazing ability, with amazing gifts, they've been working on those skills and gifts across many lifetimes. So they've finally come into a lifetime where they can actualize and share their gifts with a lot of people. So, but I don't want you to get, bummed out. You still have an amazing capacity to create consciously, but just be realistic and don't be hard on yourself. I do think it's important to try to understand your soul program as much as you can. Use astrology, for example. That's a really good way to start trying to understand what is set up for this lifetime. And just be aware that you did as a spirit agree to all of it, the good and the bad, and it might not be a great program. And so you can make better decisions and start to alter it, because every time you make a decision, you create a timeline. So you want to make sure that your decisions are going to benefit you for the future, not just in this lifetime, but all lifetimes. Just know that most people never even get to this point. So if you've made it this far in the video, give yourself a hug, because this is hard. This is complex. Most people just run their soul program and their subconscious beliefs on autopilot from birth until death. So if you're watching this video, congratulations. You want to make changes. So let's keep going. Let's talk about subconscious beliefs now. So this is the second big factor. That this is what can disrupt your soul program, and also what can make it manifest faster. So subconscious beliefs they're the programs that are created from 0 to age 7, or from age 0 to 14. It's as you're developing, you're creating these beliefs because you want to survive. Most beliefs are installed because it's about safety, keeping you safe. But if you have a very traumatic childhood, you can install some programs that don't benefit you in the long run. So it's important to heal your trauma and go in and clear these beliefs from your subconscious and reprogram them. I can help you do that with belief hacking. I figured out a while ago that my subconscious beliefs were preventing me from manifesting what I wanted to manifest, or the good things I wanted to manifest, and that I had been, in fact, totally thrown off my life path. So as soon as I started healing subconscious beliefs and trauma, things got a lot better for me. So like I said, your beliefs can either benefit your soul program or absolutely hinder it. And through the process of belief hacking, it's a way to reprogram these beliefs, but also heal a lot of trauma and make sure that that's been removed from this lifetime and also past lives. So again, doing that healing in this lifetime can benefit you for the future and future lifetimes. So it's important to do that. So what I do with belief hacking is we go in, we clear out the old beliefs, we program in new beliefs, clear out emotions, fix anything that has been locked into the body or mind, and you go on your way and create. So we'll talk about level 3 now. We'll just go into level 3. Okay. Level 3 is conscious creation. So remember that we're manifesting through our souls, through our subconscious beliefs. And now we get to conscious creation. This is when, you don't necessarily have something in your soul program laid out. So it's not necessarily going to manifest, but you want to create it. And oftentimes it's like we psychically or unconsciously know that there's something in our soul program that needs to manifest. And when we start consciously trying to create it, it unlocks. So this can benefit you in that way as well. So I use spirit to consciously create. Spirit is that little piece of the universe that you have inside you. It's what gives you life. It's what you expand. It's what drives you to evolve. So in terms of creation, in terms of conscious creation, like I said, you can't become the next LeBron James if you don't have athletic ability. So you do have to consciously create within your with what you're working with. But please know that you do have the power to create quite a lot, and to never doubt or not believe that you have free will. You do have free will. You can make decisions. You have free will. So I was shown very clearly that there's a process for conscious creation. And I was shocked at this process because I was thinking it would be something else. I was thinking it would be so esoteric or something, but it's very straightforward. Here's how it goes. Step 1, you must make a decision to create something. So when you decide, I want to create this, I want to do this, I want to become this, I want to experience this, your decision creates the timeline. So it starts opening up the timeline. So you've got to decide. And then once you decide, you've got to set a goal or an intention. Again, you're feeding that timeline. It's like to achieve the outcome, you've got to create the timeline. You're building the timeline out. It's consciously being created by you, the creator. So after you set a goal or an intention, it's really helpful to map out the actions you need to take to achieve your goal. So it's like reverse engineering. So when you sit down, you say, all right, I want to achieve this. What do I need to do to achieve it? You've got to map that out. Of course, that can change. But by doing that, it's reinforcing that timeline. And then you must take action and actively work towards the goal. This continues to create the timeline. Action is so important with conscious creation. It really is very masculine in that you're not just like, I'm just being whatever. in terms of a feminine receptivity, that's part of it, but you've got to act. And your action can be meditating, it can be visualization, it can be, trying to say your uh, say things out loud, mantras. But it could also just be like, I want to make more money, so I'm going to start a side hustle and clean cars. There's action required. You have to do something and you have to be committed to it. So don't sit around and wait for something to happen. That's not going to manifest. And if people are giving you advice, like, even if you have crystals, I mean, that could be considered an action, but the crystals themselves are not going to manifest anything for you. Action is what creates the opportunities, the blessings, and the tools needed for you to achieve or manifest your goal. So it's like as soon as you start acting and building out that timeline, often things will show up that you need to help you along the way. So, yes, intention and goals are very important. Write everything down, say it out loud. And most importantly, you have to believe that you can consciously create the thing that you want. So if your subconscious beliefs are working against what you want to consciously create, it will be very difficult to achieve. So again, you've got to go in, make sure that the subconscious beliefs are in alignment with what you want to consciously create to create the thing. Same with the soul program. Let's say your soul program has created a lifetime. You can't then decide, all right, I'm going to consciously create something else. You can try, but it would, if there's a big disconnect between the soul program and what you want to consciously create, it probably won't manifest. So it's important to know what you're dealing with. In terms of pro tips, I asked, so what are some pro tips? Visualization is one because it helps you stay focused and clearly see your goal and outcome. So it's important to visualize. So write it down, visualize it, say it out loud, and take action. Subconscious beliefs, they're the gatekeepers of what will and won't manifest. So if you reprogram them, they can speed up manifestation and conscious creation. If they're sitting there blocking it, then they're going to prevent what needs to be manifested from manifesting. Positive thoughts are helpful because they reinforce beliefs. So if you're reprogramming your beliefs and you want to stay positive and joyful and happy and focused, sure, stay positive. But that also helps support discipline and helps you maintain action. If you're excited, especially if you know human design and you're a generator, and you know that if you feel that joy and excitement in your stomach or wherever you're supposed to feel it, that's a good way to know that you're going to manifest that thing, right? Affirmations are helpful because they support beliefs, but only if you've changed the belief to be supportive. So affirmations won't necessarily work by themselves. You've got to change the belief in your subconscious, reprogram it first. Here's another thing I want you to be aware of. Sometimes action can feel risky. So it's important to push through this feeling of unsafety. Often with subconscious beliefs, those are programmed in to keep you safe, to help you survive. So when you start consciously creating something, you're going to have to take action a lot of times that feels really risky and unsafe. So that just means you're pushing against a subconscious belief that is trying to keep you safe. So it's important to go into the subconscious and reprogram that so you're not hitting that block and there's not that friction there. And now I just had some random questions that I investigated. In terms of jumping timelines, I was just shown that we do that all the time. So when you make a different decision or you change a subconscious belief, you change the timeline. So by reprogramming your beliefs, you're literally completely changing your reality because you're making different timelines. This is important. Part of the Earth experience is it's supposed to be hard to consciously create, right? It's not so much about magical thinking here on Earth. So we're given these soul programs, we're given the ability to create subconscious beliefs to help us survive, but we've got to put the work in. The game is set up to reward people who work for their creations, which is why you have to be focused and disciplined to create what you desire and ensure that your soul program can manifest. It's not just about sitting back and, doing nothing. Like, we're here to work and evolve and expand. So instead of just, being, which is a very feminine, receptive way of trying to manifest, you have to do. Also, don't be hard on yourself. So most people are, or many people are really hard on themselves. They don't feel good enough, and it's difficult to create when you don't feel good enough. It really blocks manifestations. If there's a lot of shame or guilt or heavy emotions from childhood trauma, that also makes things very difficult for you. And so it's really important to heal that, reprogram it so that you can create and live out your life. So just know also too that there's so much suffering on earth. Suffering is not required. I'm not saying earth is supposed to be an easy breezy, walk in the park. We are supposed to be challenged. It's hard here, but there's so much suffering. It's not a school. We don't get A+ if we suffer the most. The ascension process, from what I see, is not so much oh, you've suffered more than everybody else, you get to ascend. It's more of you're just evolving. You're having lots of experiences. Some people have been having more experiences than others because they've been doing this longer. It doesn't make anyone better than anyone else. It's just some people have had more experience than other people. So please just know that if there is tremendous suffering, that is pointing you towards healing trauma and healing and processing things that have happened to you in this life or past lives that are coming through and preventing you from really living a full life. In terms of what blocks manifestation, I got a list. I'm sure there's more, but I stopped because it just kept listing things. So what blocks manifestation? Addictions definitely block manifestation. If you have no motivation, if you feel hopeless, trauma does. Lack of responsibility, so not taking responsibility for yourself. Laziness. Cognitive dissonance, so having beliefs that are working against what you want to create. A lack of endurance, so sometimes things take a while to manifest and you just got to stay with it or give up and try something new. And lack of gratitude. So gratitude is actually really important for creation and manifestation. It's like if you appreciate what you have now, it creates that, it strengthens the timeline. I was investigating money at this point, and I did see in some cases that we allocate ourselves a specific amount of money in our life plan, and that's loaded into our soul program. So most of us are not using all of the money that we've allocated to ourselves, and we need to max that out. So you need to find out if there's more to be withdrawn and then start doing things to get that flowing. So change your subconscious beliefs, process your trauma, and take action to create money. So take action to create the flow of money. Money can't flow through stagnation or blocks. So you have to be moving and acting, and you have to create the ability to receive it. So that just being, you have to make sure that you have the ability to receive. You would be amazed at how many people don't have that ability. So it's an energy, it's a reprogramming so that you can be open and receptive to taking money. And you have to create portals through which money can flow to you. So that could be business, that could be employment, that could be investments. Money likes to be put to work. It likes to be busy. It's very receptive to the creative process, to manifestation. So lastly, I was shown very clearly that when people talk about alignment in terms of manifestation, alignment is when your soul program, your subconscious beliefs, and your conscious goals are all working together to create and manifest. So you can't have them working against each other, or that makes the manifestation process a little bit tricky. So here are some questions to ask yourself. And if you need help, please contact me. But is my soul program blocking or supporting this goal for manifesting? Is my subconscious blocking or supporting this goal for manifesting? Am I taking the right actions, and am I doing enough to manifest my intended outcome? So you can use muscle testing to get the answers to these questions. And please know that there are so many skills and so many experiences that you can consciously create that you never thought was possible. So please don't just rely on your soul program. Please don't just rely on like, oh, I don't know. I just say my mantras and I'm good. Like there's a lot of things that you can consciously create that will make your life amazing, but you do have to take a lot of action. But if you do, life is better and it's certainly more fun. And being a creator, knowing that you are a creator and you're creating both good and bad, and that's okay. It's all part of it. That's the magic. So you're not a victim, you're a creator. If you need help, if you need support, come visit me. I'm here for you at bigbeautifulsky.com. Thank you so much.